Hey out there in YouTube land, and today I'm going to do something kind of different, but not really. Recently, if you watched my videos, you'll notice that I did a Blu-ray Essentials list, and I'm going to be kind of updating and doing more of those down the road. But I thought, not everybody has Blu-rays or into Blu-ray, and there's some movies that just haven't made it over to the Blu-ray transfer. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you another Essentials list, but these are some DVD box sets and stuff that I really think that you should think about having in your collection. If you don't have them, I'm going to tell you why as we go along, and I'm going to shut my app again like usual and just get through the sets. First up, I mentioned the Vincent Price set from Shout Factory. There is another Vincent Price set, and I wanted to show this one off too. It is a DVD set. It came out from MGM, and it's actually a pretty cool one. So if you haven't got the other Vincent Price set yet, the really cool one with all the features, then you might want to pick this one up. And if you haven't made the transition to Blu-ray, or if you just want a nice, inexpensive Vincent Price set, then get the Vincent Price Scream Legends Collection. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 7 films and an extra bonus disc. So just some really cool stuff. You have on this one. You get Theater, Blood, Madhouse, Dr. Fives, Dr. Fives Rise Again, Tales of Terror, Twice Told Tales, and Witchfinder General. So there's a lot of stuff there that has not yet been put on Blu-ray on the Scream Factory stuff. So a good one to pick up if you don't have a Blu-ray player, or you just want to have something to watch, kind of like up at your cabin or something like that. Vincent Price, a really cool set. Next up is a different one. Some of these are on Blu-ray, I think, but I just thought this set really bear looking at. If you're a horror fan, if you're a slasher fan, then this one I thought was really, really good. This is not the best version of it, though. There was another version out that I'm going to talk about as I get into it. It's the Prom Night, the collection. This one here has Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou. We got Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss, and the totally unrelated Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, which actually in its way isn't that bad of a slasher film. Now there's another edition of this that has kind of like the Prom Night poster with the masked face and the knife on it, and that actually has a remake as well. So that one's even better to get. This is this was, I think, a Canadian exclusive, but guys, you can get your hands on this one. Really is nice packaging, worth picking up, and I gotta say, I'm really glad to have this one here. One of the films that helped launch slashers, which I'm going to get into another video. Next up is Evil Dead, the Ultimate Edition, and that it is. It is the Ultimate Edition and the best way to have this film. People argue about the right aspect ratio of this film, so they make no bones here, and they give you the widescreen and the full screen aspect ratio. We also got the third disc, which is Ladies of the Evil Dead. It has some really cool features on there. There's some great commentaries, some great documentary stuff. Definitely worth grabbing. I grabbed this a few years back on Halloween, and so glad I did. Next up is one of the Disney Treasures. I want to put one of those in there. All these, of course, are only on DVD, and this one here, Walt Disney on the Front Lines. If I can recommend any one of these, I really, really recommend this. It's a time capsule of awesomeness. Just some really, really cool stuff. Some cartoons, some live action stuff, just some really decent stuff, and definitely deserves to be looked at. Next up is Forbidden Hollywood Collection Volume 2. Why Volume 2? Because although all of them are good, if you want to start out collecting pre-code movies, and this is all about the pre-code era, so I love pre-code films. This has some great films on it. It's got The Divorcee, Free Soul, and Female, and my Night Nurse, and my favorite of all time, 3 in a Match. One of my all-time favorite films. But not only that, it has an all-new documentary on here called Thou Shalt Not: Sex, Sin, and Censorship in Pre-Code Hollywood. And we watched this one, liked it so much, we watched it again right afterwards so we could write down the movies so that we could look at ordering some pre-codes and watching them. That's how persuasive and cool this documentary is. Really, really great stuff. Belongs in everybody's collection. You should not pass this one up if you ever get the chance to get it. It's a cool thought. Next up is another kind of a TCM Archives, and I think TJ Pyramid kind of highlighted this one as well, because I think he's got in his collection. That is the Lon Chaney collection. Very creepy stuff. Some great stuff in here. We got 3 feature films. There's Ace of Hearts, Laugh Clown Laugh, The Unknown. It's got a Lon Chaney full-length feature documentary called Lon Chaney: A Thousand Faces. But not only that, as you can see in the back, it has the kind of a how would you put this? Okay, a photo reconstruction of the lost film London After Midnight. It is amazingly interesting to watch. Really cool stuff. Definitely check it out. Lon Chaney collection. Gotta get it. Next up is one that I think is really fun. It's part of a series of of sets that were put out by Warner Brothers, and these are just some incredible stuff. It'll take you back to your good old Saturday morning go days. So when you go get this, go grab yourself a box of your favorite sugary cereal, get Saturday morning cartoons. I got the 1980s ones, but there's the 1960s, 1970s ones as well. 1980s only had one volume, the other two decades had 2 volumes. Sadly, they didn't get the second 1980s one out, but there's some really, really great stuff. We have some rare cartoons, some stuff that have not come out on DVD or Blu-ray on their own. So only way for me to watch Ed Grimley for a long time was to get this here set. I think it's on the archives now, but still a really cool thing. You just put it in, you re-experience your Saturday mornings, you're back in your childhood again. Great stuff. And you know, Mr. T pities the fool that does not get the set. Next up is another one that reminded me of my Saturday mornings, and that is Captain Power. This is actually a really good series. It got tied in with with toy marketing, but the series itself actually had some really cool dark plot lines. You know, of course, it's got the cheesy effects of its era, but some really good stuff. And not all the characters live in this show. This was actually a pretty epic series. All 22 episodes are on this, but not only that, it's got a great documentary. The company here that put this out, put it VSC, put out some great stuff. They also did a really great Skeleton Warriors set that I got my son for Christmas a couple years ago. And this one here actually has Season 2 classified, and basically what does it tell? It goes through the entirety of what Season 2 episodes are going to be, where they're going with the series, what the episode pretty much breakdown was. Great stuff. Next up is a Region 2 one, and just one that I think is really, really fun, especially if you remember those days when you're going through the video stores back in the day. You know, it's the old mom and pop video store, and you're looking at the old big cases, and you don't know what you want to rent. You rent a bunch of stuff, you don't know what it is, just those cool covers, and that's the X-Rental collection from Arrow. Really cool stuff on here. We got Maniac Cop on this one, the original, of course. We have the Cheerleaders. It's kind of like a sexploitation movie. We got Revenge of the Cheerleaders. We have Penitentiary, which I really do enjoy. Penitentiary 2, which is even better. And of course the classic McBain, which gets its release here and apparently nowhere in Region 1 has this gotten released yet. But so guys, really cool one. Really recommend that one. Awesome set. Next up is, if you like the classics, then you're gonna love this one. It is amazing. Say I said love twice because that's how much I think you're gonna love it. That is Kino's American Silent Horror Collection. Just some really great stuff. I mean, we got the man who laughs here. We have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the John Barrymore version. We have the Cat and the Canary, and we have the Penalty, a really good movie by the classic Lon Chaney himself. But what else do we have? We have this Kingdom of Shadows. This documentary is freaking amazing. There's some great stuff, and it made us go out and buy more. We actually watched this documentary at a friend's house before we bought this set, and on this alone we wanted the rest of the set. This just got us interested in some of the stuff. We were already into the silent stuff, and we wanted to really grab some good stuff. And I really recommend this Kino's American Silent Horror Collection. Really great set. Next up is I wanted to have something kind of family-ish when I was doing this series. This is originally going to be a family type one, but I put in some kind of horror along the way. But this is one of my favorites. Actually, strike that. This is my favorite signature collection. And they put out a nice few of these signature collections with different actors, but this one hits home to me, and hopefully some of you guys will know why, and it'll hit home to you too as well. It's the Earl Flynn Signature Collection. Just great stuff. I mean, this is movies I grew up watching. Of course, I wasn't around when these movies came out, but they were on Saturday mornings, Sundays. They come on like late at night. Captain Blood, I don't know how many times I sat down and watched that movie over and over again. The Seahawk, great movies like Dodge City. We have like The Dark That Boots On, The Private Life of Elizabeth and Essex, and a really amazing Earl Flynn documentary. Really highly, strongly recommend this one. Just really cool stuff. Really love this one here. Next up is I wanted to grab one of the Collector's Choice series, and I couldn't decide which one, but finally went with this one. Film Noir Classics Volume 1. Just has some really great stuff. The Big Heat is one of my favorite film noirs of all time, and really highly underrated. Glenn Ford does an incredible job in this movie here. Five Against the House, The Lineup, Murder by Contract, and of course The Sniper, which is an amazing film. Just 5 fantastic films. Got some great stuff in there. Got some special features where they introduce the films. You have some commentaries. Just incredible stuff. Great sets. These were at Costco for a little while ago for like less than $20. Picked this one in Volume 2 up. Gotta get Volume 3 down the road. Just amazing stuff. Next up is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And when I got a chance to get this one, I grabbed it in a second. And if you can get this one at a good price, hey, if you can get this one, it's really, really, really worth getting. Thriller, the complete series. And this is, of course, the Boris Karloff Thriller, not the Thriller that was done in England later on. Very great series. 4 DVD deluxe box set. We have like 67 episodes on here. 27 brand new audio commentaries. Promotional and production stills gallery, rare episode promos, thriller series promos, isolated music scores, just some really, really great stuff. This has some really kind of creepy stuff, some really good dramatic stuff, great acting, a lot of big stars getting their start and stuff like this, and like showing up in this. We got William Shatner here, we got Robert Vaughn, there's Leslie Nielsen, Richard Chamberlain, we got Edward Platt, Mary Tyler Moore, Elizabeth Montgomery, Alan Napier, Donna Douglas, of course, Ursula Andress, Marion Ross, just incredible actors. And amazing stuff. And last but not least, I want to put up one of my big oversized box sets, and I grabbed this one because I really, really do love the show, and this is Batman Beyond. This show had no right to be as good as it is. When I heard Teenage Batman in the future, trust me, I wasn't rushing to go to the TV set. Little did I expect it to be this damn good. This is an amazing show, an incredible set. It's got some great features on it. I think this one here includes like a documentary on it as well. Just some incredible, incredible stuff. If you haven't picked this set up, if you can get it at a decent price, I highly recommend it. I've missed out on the Batman the Animated Series box set that looks kind of like this, but kind of a little bit bigger. Definitely pick those up. Those are my picks. Those are my essential DVDs that I think you should have in your collection. If you like any of those things, definitely stop video, write them down, and look for those around you, because there's some great stuff. Way more stuff than I planned to do when I managed to get this out in one video. So guys, hope you liked all that. We've got some TCM archives, we've got some Saturday morning stuff, some Kino, we've got some Anchor Bay, just a lot of different cool stuff. And for me right now, my voice is going, and it is time for tea.